Bugün Hayatım Spor programında Anadolu Efes Başantrenörü Tomislav Mijatovic'le birlikteyiz. 14 yıllık bir hikaye var karşımızda ve kendisiyle hem bu 14 yıllık macerayı konuşacağız. Anadolu Efes'in şu an başantrenörlüğe geliş hikayesini konuşacağız. Basketbolu konuşacağız. Koç beni aslında çok iyi anlıyor. Bir basın toplantısında da hatta söyledi Türkçe konusunda ama biz röportajımızı İngilizce gerçekleştireceğiz. Yine de teşekkürler Koç bizi ağırladığınız için. Thank you very much for joining us.
Ben çok teşekkür ederim.
14 years journey. It's a little bit long, but right now we are the head coach of the Anadolu Efes, but we can say that you have seen the many parts of the club, like the second team coaching, assistant coaching, analyzing as well. Would you please tell us a little bit shortly for this journey?
Well, you know, the short version I don't think exists. It becomes my life. You know, it becomes my. You know, usually a lot of times people like to say it's your second home. It's not second. It's the home. You know, it's really I don't know of other home basically in that way because it's just it happens to be such a privilege, such an honor, without sounding true to Hollywood, but it really is really a big honor when a club of this magnitude, when the people of this caliber accept you and take you on your own wing and offer you a place in such a valuable organization with such valuable coaches, players, general managers. Of course, our president goes without saying. You know, he's the one that opened the door of this wonderful club to me, and I cannot be more thankful. I don't have words that are, let's say, strong enough to express my gratitude for that. Therefore, these 14 years, like you said, it's a long time, but the time flies super fast. I do feel like I came yesterday. I remember the first time that I came. I remember the exact moment of the arrival, and therefore I'm super excited for continuation of this journey. I hope it's going to be a successful one for all of us, and I hope, really hope, that I can help with my small amount to overall success of our club.
Mm-hmm. How did it start? I remember that with Mr. Parasovic you started the work and you were 30 years old.
I started the coaching journey very early, and I was fortunate enough. I worked so far in two beautiful clubs for first 7.5 years in my hometown in Zagreb, in Cibona Zagreb, the club that I grew up with, the club
legendary club of Croatia.
Of Croatia, of course. And so I was fortunate that I worked there with great Croatian coaches, from Coach Spahia to Coach Repesha to Coach Petrovic, and of course to Coach Velimir Perasovic.
Two of them worked here in Turkey as well.
And then, of course, yeah, exactly. And Coach Perasovic, who brought me and invited me to come to Efes with him. So I'm grateful and thankful for, you know, when you look at your own personal journey in life, when you have opportunity to be a part of two historic clubs and to be there for such a long time, for a basketball person such as myself, it's a dream come true. It really is. You know, it sounds reclamish when you say it, but it really is a dream come true. And then our journey in Efes started, and it continues to grow every year. We've been through everything in Efes, and through all the building phases, through the growing up phases, through the championship phases. So, you know, we've seen it all, and we see what it takes. And that's why I'm saying that I personally feel double the obligation and double the responsibility, because when you see the great coaches that have done it, and when you see the magnitude of their knowledge, their leadership, their willingness to help and share, that's why when you're in this position, at any position in our club, it doesn't matter the position of the naming titles, it really requires full 24-hour it's a responsibility that doesn't have a break, and I feel that on myself because of all these facts that I just mentioned. It really, you cannot show enough gratitude when you're invited in this great organization, and when this great organization becomes your home, then you have to do double. You don't have to, but I feel that I have to do double in every way, shape, or form to show at least a small amount of gratitude, because I cannot, like I said, I cannot use too many words to describe how grateful I am for this chance.
You worked double with Mr. Parasovic, but you have seen the many coaches like Mr. Dušanikovic, rest in peace, and the others, but the longest period with Mr. Ataman.
Yes.
And I know that you got many things from them, but which was very impressive for you?
You know, you cannot, and it is impossible, if you're going to be realistic with oneself, it is impossible to categorize the greatness, because I was fortunate to meet and to work with the greatest of the great here. So, you know, I have worked, like you said, with Ergin Hoca for 5 years, super successful years. Worked with Coach Ivkovic, with Coach Perasovic, with Coach Oktay Mahmudi, with Coach Ufuk Sarıca, with Coach Ilya Zuros. So all the great names of European and Turkish basketball, and you cannot categorize the greatness because they're all top level. And for me, when I look back at these things, the greatest, besides the basketball knowledge, besides the greatest thing that one person, such as myself, can take away from this is that I became close friend with all of these people. And for me, that really is, that's amazing. You know, a couple days ago, Ergin Hoca was in Istanbul with the national team. Immediately we sat down, we talk life, we talk basketball, we talk family. You know, when a person of that magnitude, of that level of success, of that level of importance for European basketball, not just Turkish basketball. As soon as he arrives to Istanbul, we find time, we meet each other, we sit down for 1 hour. I mean, what else can somebody ask for? I mean, that's the point. That for me, and I had that relationship, and I have that relationship with Ergin Hoca, I have that relationship with Coach Peras. I was blessed enough to have that relationship with Coach Ivkovic as well, Coach Oktay Mahmudi, Ufuk abi, you know. So we are Coach Ilya Zuros at the same time. So that is a magnitude. That is the point of our life. That's why our sport is so great. Yes, results, yes, victories, but also the friendships that are made throughout this sport. For me personally, that is a humongous reward.
You mentioned about the responsibility in this organization and the concentration as well. You did not work as the assistant coach only here. You worked for the youth development as well.
Yes, I did.
Like the second team, yes. It was named as the Pertemnial at that time.
At that time, exactly.
The first division, I remember that. You worked as a head coach. That you have a contribution for Turkish basketball as well in this organization.
You know, the players did it. I'm just trying to help, and I was trying to help at that time. Coach Ivkovic told me, you know, rest in peace. He's a visionary. He always had different view of life and on basketball. And he said, listen, while I'm here, we need to develop, I'm going to try to develop many phases. Of course, first team, we need to develop the young kids to help them ready, because they cannot just step into the shoes of EuroLeague player without getting experience of getting beaten up in a first division against older players. So he told me, you're going to have 2 roles in our team. You're going to be my assistant in senior team, and you're going to be a head coach of our development team. He said, this is going to be great for you, but it's going to be tiring because you're not going to have any time for anything. And
was Jerry playing it?
Jerry was at that time only in A takım. At that time we had Ogben Ulubay, we had Burak Can Yıldızlı, we had Emircan Koşut. We had players that are at that time were coming through our youth program, youth system. We had to test them and give them opportunity in first division, which was very, very challenging for them and for me as well. It took me minimum half a season before I figured out, what we have to do, to be quite honest with you, because it's something else, because these guys are 17, 18 years at that time. You're playing against players that are super experienced, 25, 30 years old. At that time there's a big difference. And the guys did a superb job. They did a great job. I'm so happy looking back at, out of 12 of them, I think all 10, 11 are playing the first division, playing basketball today, which at the point that I look at, it's the key. The guys are playing basketball in one way or another. So if I could help them with 1%, I'm proud. 2%, super proud. Because at the end of the day, they did it. I didn't do any miracles, they did it. I was just fortunate enough to be nearby, to be close, and to offer some advices, good or bad. But I hope it helped them in their basketball and their life. That would be my primary goal.
Okay, let's go to the out of the court. You mentioned that, you said that here is the home. And Istanbul is the, I think, one of the glorious city of the world, and you're living here 14 years.
Well, I'm very proud and honored, and I'm very, you always carry your home close to your heart. I was born and raised in Zagreb, and us people from Zagreb, we have this unique pride of our home city, and everybody does, because it's a wonderful city. It's a city with a lot of history and everything. And then, when I was introduced and brought, I traveled to Istanbul before, of course, on short trips. And then once I got to Istanbul, and once I met the people, and once when I say I mean my family and myself, because my family is here with me all the time. And once we've become accustomed and become very, very warmly welcomed in Istanbul, year by year, month by month, because we are here 11 months out of the year, so times 14, you do the math, it's a lot. It became also our home. So we're fortunate and blessed to call two great cities, Istanbul and Zagreb, our homes. And we didn't fully know how to honor this situation. So when our son was born, we decided, and we talked about it, that we would like to give in our culture and in our way of thinking, when your only son is born somewhere, you give also the honor to that place and the country and the city, and like they gave us the love, and we wanted to show the love back. So our son is born in Istanbul, so he is fully born and raised here.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old. He goes to school. He speaks Turkish. He's, fully international with the Istanbul roots, and we're very happy and proud of that. And we wanted to show our appreciation for city welcoming us in this way and people welcoming us in this way. We didn't want our son to be born anywhere else but in Istanbul. So that's one small piece of our family history that we wanted to enroot and connect the two cities like that. So that was our out of the court story.
I think after 14 years, it's too usual for you, the traffic of Istanbul.
Oh, it's normal.
Normal.
It's normal. It's normal when you think 1 hour, it doesn't make any difference. 1 hour is just 1 hour. Anywhere else in the world, you think in 1 hour, what am I going to do for 1 hour? In Istanbul, it's normal. But Istanbul has a soul that people are not lucky enough to see on the short weekend visits, and that soul is saw on every sokak, every corner, every communication with the people, every simit you buy. There is soul. There is history in every corner.
You have a very busy schedule in the recent years, but could you find the trip of the Istanbul?
Of course. I mean, my wife and myself, we always wanted to cherish the small parts and small minutes that we have off. And of course, now with our son, he has his own schedule with school and everything. But any small time that we have, any 1, 2, 3, 4 hours off, we would do one of our daily visits on any part of Istanbul that we would like at that moment, because we really cherish it. And it really is, I say to people who haven't, and again, I'm not subjective. I'm sorry, I'm not objective. I'm very subjective when I say this. But you know, to me, really one of the most glorious cities in the world, because it has absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. And the most important thing they have, people with good hearts and good souls.
All right, let's talk a little bit actual things for the Anadolu Efes and for you. The Anadolu Efes started to begin to the season with a new coach, with a little bit new team, we can say. Some players were new for you and for the team, with Mr. Erdem started the season, but after a period, suddenly you had been a head coach of the team.
Well, you know, those things I don't know, and Coach Erdem is a friend of mine for over 10 years. We have very good relationship, and he actually told me, you know, please get ready, and you know, he always supported me and wished me very well, and still does, because like I said, you know, you build a relationship for 10 years, and he didn't expect, and we didn't expect these things to happen, of course. I'm very thankful for him and to him for bringing me along and for letting me work with him. We had some unfortunate difficulties at the beginning of the season and throughout the season. If you remember, 8 players were injured at the same time. You know, those are things that don't happen so often, and they happen to us. And you know, when this decision happened, and when I was put in this position, like I said, I personally didn't get ready for it because I didn't expect it. But at the same time, you know, you get ready through it with life, and you get ready through it with support, and you get ready through it for it with the great people that are supporting you. And we have a tremendous support from our coaches, from our managing staff, from our president. So therefore, that thing happened, and we try to absorb it as quick as possible. And like I told you, Coach Erdem also told me, he said, please, right now, get ready, get focused, and do this, you know. So I thank him for his camaraderie, for his friendship, and for his support. Like I said, we've known each other, and we are friends for over 10 years. And that support at that moment, when I didn't know what was happening at that time, it meant a lot. So again, from the friendship standpoint, I'm really thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. After maybe we can call a dynasty, it's hard to continue at the same level, right? After two back-to-back championship, Mr. Ataman was saying that we're targeting to get 3-peat, but last year was really tough for Anadolu Efes, and this year also continue as a tough.
Well, you know, I keep repeating this, and I keep saying this, and I really believe in this, because I know the culture of our club and the valued history of our club. I always say this, and I try to say this to the players: we're Efes, and once you have this jersey, once you don't just wear this jersey for today or for this week or for this season. You wear this jersey with all the history that comes with it. And once you understand that, then you start valuing what you're doing. Of course, it's a professional job. Everybody say you're a professional player. You're not. Okay, great. But this jersey means the whole history that was brought in before, and the whole demand that this jersey and wearing it means for all of us. Therefore, dynasty is something that was not made from miracle. It was built. And it is our obligation for all of us that are associated with that dynasty to keep building it and to keep giving our small part, big part, bigger part, smaller part, huge part in continuation of the dynasty. Building dynasty is tough. Keep building it and keeping it on that high level is very tough. But at the same time, we are Efes, and we're going to continue to build it, continue to do it. There is no doubts about it. Doesn't matter how difficult at certain times. Basketball season is a marathon. Injuries happen, this happened, that happened, but there's no excuses. We have to continue to build and solidify dynasty, as you said it, that was built in a hard way. We put a lot of effort. Everybody put a lot of effort. All the people that are working the club, all of the fans, our president, everybody, the family, everybody put a lot of effort and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of emotions in building this dynasty. So it is our responsibility, and that's why I told you I feel double the responsibility, double the, I'm not going to say pressure, but double the responsibility is a good word, to keep that and hold on to that and keep building it. To do our small part in the continuation, hopefully in a successful continuation.
So it built it after the after Efes have seen the bottom of the table 7 years ago.
Well, you know, basketball and sports itself can be very rewarding, can be very cruel at times. And only the true winners and only the organization with the purpose and organizations with stability and organizations with great leadership that we have enough power to go through the whole cycle and build the dynasty. That I think that explains my beginning story. Why I feel that this club is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, in my eyes, the greatest in Europe. Because the perseverance, the power and the willingness to build starts, like I said, from the people that work, from our president, who always gave us support, who gave us resources, who gave us power to keep building. He had a vision, and we followed that vision. And that resulted in 2 EuroLeague titles. That resulted in 2 EuroLeague titles and 1 EuroLeague final. And now we have to not live on the historical accolades. We have to keep building those and adding on to that. We need to add. And that's why we say when you put the jersey, it's not just present, it's history, but it's also we need to go for the future. That's our responsibility.
For this season, was the Real Madrid away game was a key moment for the Anadolu Efes?
The key moment for Anadolu Efes is the next game. Next game. Because season, like I said, it's a marathon. And we try to tell 12 players, please, the only thing that we control is the next game. Because if you start getting caught up into calculations, into thoughts, what can we do, when can we do it, then it becomes algebra, not basketball. We want to play basketball, we want to play the next game. And that is the only thing that we're focused on, because that's the only thing that we can control. Right now, we cannot control what happened 5 games ago, 2 games ago, 1 game ago. We can only control the next game. And if we have that approach, with a little bit of luck, because quality we have individual quality in our roster, we have a team quality in our roster, and we have belief in that. Therefore, I'm a firm believer, and I can be a little bit overly optimistic at times, that's my character, but if we're focused on the next game, and if we do our absolute best the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game, then the end result is going to be good for us. We just cannot get caught up into, oh, if we only did that, if we only, no. That is out of our control. We can only focus, learn from our mistakes, and do everything in our power to control the future and present, not the past, because we cannot control the past.
At the beginning of the season, there was a media day with Mr. Erdem and Mr. Alper Yılmaz. I asked for the Mr. Erdem that because of the previous season, is in this EuroLeague format also playing added right now, but the regular season is tough than the other seasons for these 2 seasons, or was it too looking? Anadolu Efes was looking for the regular season too easy last year for this season as well.
I don't think that we ever overlooked any opponents or any parts of the season, because the season is, like you said, a marathon, and every year it becomes more and more of a marathon. But to be honest with you, I never felt, and I don't think that any of us in the club has ever overlooked anything. We know how grueling it is to get to a point where you compete in the playoffs. It's because everybody wants to do it, and everybody goes against you double hard because you're Efes. you have a target on your back. Everybody's chasing you. Therefore, I never felt, and I don't think, and I know that none of us in organization ever overlooked anything in the past or now. We took all the precautions. Like I said before, we had some unfortunate last year and this year. Last year with injuries of Shane, injuries of Micic at time, injuries of Shane Larkin at Will Clyburn at time, Rodi Bobois at time. We also had injury problems. This year we also had injury problems. So therefore, we don't want to talk about those as an excuse. No, we don't want to. But we never overlooked anything or anybody. I don't feel like that. I feel that we took it very, very seriously, and we're going to continue to do so.
Mm-hmm. I just finally want to know your opinion for the up to the end of the season. What's your goal?
My goal as Tommy and as a coach is the next game. Really, because I said in the middle of our talk, we are Efes, and we always have the highest targets, and I will never accept, as a person who basically grew up with Efes, who knows our DNA, we will never accept and lower our standards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what point. It's not going to happen. And I will never, if whoever asks me for an opinion, I will never accept that. We always have the highest standards. But in order to reach our highest standards, and my goal as a person and as a basketball person and as a coach is the next game, because we cannot talk about the final of something or the end of something if we don't win the next game. So our goal is to win the next game, and then to always bring the best out of us, because we will always have, and we always will do everything in our power to defend our highest standards, highest possible. That's our goal. It always will be.
We can continue really up to an hour, but I think we have to finish. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I would like to thank you for this 14 years as well. I think you are one of us.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your thoughts and concerns and kind words. I appreciate it very much. It means a lot.
Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler. Çok sağ olun.